today we are joined by one of the people that are behind the scenes, celebrating World Drama Day.
Yeah. Of course. Why not?
This is the drum roll that you'll be hearing today because we're celebrating World Drama Day, and we are here celebrating with a gentleman in the studio who's gonna be talking to us called Sabu Satsha. It looks like people know about drummist and Tonton. Mrs. A knows about dramas, drummist. Dramas or drummist? Wasn't correct as we move on. But anyways, we've got Sabu Satsha here, who is a drummer, and he has been making great music for various artists. Let's talk more about that with him right here on the talk. But before that, let's welcome him. Good morning, Sabu. What's up, man?
I'm
Thank
good.
you.
How are you?
We are so great. Thank you for joining the talk.
Yeah, you guys are excited.
No, we're always like this, Tina. We're always like this. We
really
love
cool.
having guests in our studio. And like we said earlier on, we are so honored to have you here. We are hoping that you're going to be telephonically. So we're like, us is Obonacon. So we're
That's
but
fine.
we're so happy that you're here with you. Celebrating World Drama Day.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you before we move into your personal space as a drama? But what is World Drama Day, considering to what you're exposed to and nje drama like?
Drama nje.
Actually, we never celebrate World Drummers Day.
Okay.
This is probably my first engagement in quite a few years. I know the one year we had a drum day.
Okay.
We had a drum day for drummers of all kinds of all ages.
Okay.
We're doing one again this year, later on this year.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And yeah,
Invite us, Vel.
I will definitely. You guys with the energy, most definitely, you need to come through. So yeah, I mean, it's basically a day where we celebrate the non-musicians, as they say, the guys in the background making a noise, keeping time for us.
Come on, there's no music without behind the scene, I suppose. What makes the music more beautiful, it's everything that happens behind the scene.
True.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
True.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's somebody here on the line saying, welcome, hi, got drum roll. Thank you so much, Uncle Mulzi, for tuning in. Please do send your questions to Usibu right here on Sabu. Sorry, Sabu to 0671531089. Let's talk about the beginning of your journey as a drummer. Is it drama or drummist?
Both.
So I love everything to be
So it's drama. But when you say drummist, I guess you're not wrong. But in the sense of a musician playing percussion, keeping time in a band setup
Okay.
is more a drummer than a drummist in a drum line. Where there's a number of drummers that
Okay.
makes them drummers in the drum line.
Okay.
And then a drummer would be a drummer in a musical setup, in a band setup. Yeah.
Hey, technicalities, my God.
It's okay. Bazomthatha babuyele naye. This is not our language, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's not our language. But Gail, how did you begin? Like some people, I've got a friend of mine who is a male and loves cars. Like everything to him, it's like, I'm saving. Did you see the latest car? Did you see this? Too dressed. But then I recall, because we come from way back primary school, I recall him doing imoto with wires, sometimes. And I really can attest that, you know what, you love cars, and I've seen you back in the days where you would drive wire cars and stuff.
Yeah.
In your case, did you ever take bottles and start drumming with sticks,
Even pots at some point.
Pots!
It's a similar story. Drumming is a godly given gift.
Wow.
I'd say my musical gift is a godly
Right.
given gift. I
Right.
happened to be a drummer. Drums is my first instrument, but I started at a very young age. I think I started playing. I was 5,
Okay.
and yeah, pots. I actually made my first drum kit out of tins, Nesprain, and tins, Milo,
Right.
all of those things. So, yeah, and I would use people's toothbrushes for drumsticks.
All right.
And they'd find
Go
half
see,
toothbrushes in the morning in the cup. But, yeah. So it's, I mean, from there it's been a journey where God has just taken me from one place to another. I laid my hands on a real kit, I think, at the age of 7.
Okay.
I started playing in church. I grew up in Grace Bible Church. And yeah, it's just been, it's a long journey. Long story short, I'm who I am today. I went to a music school eventually. And this thing was nurtured as well at home when they realized that this thing is a gift. And
Yeah.
Okay.
this thing
It's a
is in him.
gift.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the part that you say you had to go to school for it, because sometimes we get so comfortable in saying, as much as this is a gift, we forget the part of being skillful about it, and sharpening that skill and going through to some people who've got more knowledge to sharpen that skill,
Yeah.
rather than just being comfortable to, na vele ngiqale ngina 5. What's the whole point of me going to school? But I just want to go into, I also want to ask the question, Yoguti, back in the days, the only instrument that we knew, it was the keyboard. Yabona mawuzwana nomfana we-keyboard.
True.
Awu, Ucobo Nkosi.
My God.
And then you came along, the drummers came along, other instruments came along. How did you find the balance? I don't know about you, but now I grew up in those old missionary churches where even introducing keyboard was like, "Ay, bantu bam senomoya ongathi awuzwa kahle." And then obviously they embraced the keyboard, but then maseniza nama drum, it's now getting too much trouble gogo. Finding space of understanding that you being a drummer, it's a gift, and you wanna minister, through playing that. How did you find balance in saying, you know what, akhona nama drum? I mean, after all, David, when we talk about David's dancing in worship, there were also instruments involved.
Yeah.
And looking at drummist, English, you'll forgive me. Being a drummist, it's like, okay, siyakubona, you're just making noise.
Yeah.
How did you embrace your gift, as, you know what, I'm comfortable being a drummer and I'm going to embrace it, I'm going to grow. And now everybody's like, when we're talking about one of the producers, NK is like, yeah, this is, what's up? I'm like, okay, I don't know. But there are people that are now embracing your own gift. They know you before they even see you. They know your hand. So in your case, how did you embrace that when yourself, considering that instrument a drama, it was like, and then, really?
Yeah. Well, fortunately, I grew up in a charismatic church.
Okay.
So I grew up around instruments, around sound, around instruments that have beats, worship music that is, even my musical mentors exposed me quite very early to gospel music that was recorded with full instrumentation. I think it's been a blessing being the drummer I am. A lot of people say, hey, Sabu, but it's all the Lord's doing.
Right.
I got into a position where I was able to influence and change a certain generation, a certain era.
Okay.
Wow.
And I think I'm blessed to pioneer a certain era where drumming is not just a noise thing in the song, but it's about drums actually worshiping in a song. I always say people classify gospel music as a genre, and it's actually
A lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle, but more than that, it's a message. And we should never put gospel music with genres, because we demeaning the word gospel, this good news of Jesus Christ, to a genre, and forgetting that it's a message. So it's more about what you can say in the song more than what you can do.
That's beautiful.
And yeah, I think every time I'm playing, I'm always trying to communicate a message. What are we saying in this song? It's not what I can do as you know. So yeah, years later, I'm still a recording drummer, and God has graced me with a special anointing that I'm aware of, and I know when it's operating, and I perceive it even in the future. I'm always looking to do the very next thing where people will be blessed not only by just my playing, but will be blessed by that song. That song. There's something about that song.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
yeah, that's the Holy Spirit working in and through us.
Yeah. Man.
We are talking to Sabu here, celebrating World Drama Day, and looks like there's a man of God here. You know, sometimes we're always so skeptical about instrument guys. We don't see you playing. So, but it's so beautiful to hear from you that over everything else, there is a relationship between you and God, and the one who gave you this gift. And send through your questions to 0671531089. We just want to pay some bills. We want to talk about there's more to talk about: preparation of the shows. How does he prepare? How does he improvise? You know, John 3 verse 16 uti. But I think if I add, my touch is about John 3, and people will understand the whole meaning of John 3 verse 16. So it's more like you are a vessel of honor, adding not only your skill in hitting, but the aromat that brings out the anointing of the importance of instruments in a song. So let's talk about that when we come back after paying some bills. Like I said, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and of course send through your questions to 0671531089. Still tuned in to Hope Alive radio station, The Talk, right here, having a conversation with Usabu, celebrating World Drama Day. Thank you so much for the messages that you're sending through. And we've got one text here from one of our listeners. They are saying, "Hi, Hope Alive family. Hi, Sabu. I'm a girl and definitely not a drummer, but you make me fall in love with drums." Okay, girl. What are you trying to say?
Come on, girl.
While watching you, indeed, you are gifted. There is a question as well, Sabu, from our listening. They're saying, "How do you do it? You'll be the drummer in heaven, sana stro." Okay. Sabu, please. Sikufuna pha ezulwini. Hallelujah. Nkosi. All right, let's take this question. Uti, how do you do it?
Yo, what a broad question. How do I do it? More than anything, I think, like you said earlier on, it's important to sharpen the skill. You can never take a gift uyivalele somewhere because uyobuzwa ngelinye ilanga uNkulunkulu will say, "Get away from me, you evil one." Because the three who were given gifts, the two who multiplied them, those are the ones who got well done, good and faithful servant. But this gift is not, you must remember what this gift is borrowed to you. It's not yours.
Right.
It's to serve God's people. And it's to give glory to Him. So I think every time I walk on any stage, I'm always thinking, even if I'm just here for one person, even if just one person is touched by my playing tonight, I've done my part of ministry.
Right.
Beautiful.
So, I think I'm pushed by that more than anything.
Wow. And I've got another question, Mrs. A, before we come to you. They're saying that, "Hi, team. A special greeting to Usabu. I would love to know, with the gig life so hectic as a drummer and music director, how do you make time for your family? Thank you for inspiration work in music."
Yeah, hey, good rough.
Okay.
But I always say there's 24 hours in a day. Find the 25th hour for what's important. So family is so important, especially in a Christ-like life. You want to make sure that you don't neglect your family life.
That's
so
true.
I make sure that when I'm home, I'm home.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Ningamane nifonele unkosikazi wami. Awu, ukhona kanti endlini? And I'm just like, yeah, I'll attend to that tomorrow. I'm not gonna answer your call.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm home.
Priorities. Yeah.
I'm home. So yeah, and leaving your work outside at the door.
Right.
Because musicians
Ungaqali ukushaya amabhodo lapha.
yeah, sometimes it goes overboard. We take our work into the house and then it eats into your time with
Yeah.
family, and before you know it, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years into your family life, you realize you've been there but you're not present.
You've been a guest in your house.
Yeah,
Right.
and yeah, it's sad when you realize sekukudala, because there's some things that you can't fix
Yeah.
in the long run. There's things that you've missed. You know? So yeah, I really try to be as present as I can be at home.
Sure. That is so beautiful. And getting into your life now, how do you set apart Sabu from the rest? Because there's so many people out here. We know of a lot of people that I will not mention right now, but we're talking about you now. So how do we set apart Sabu from the rest?
I think because of who I am.
Okay.
If you ask anyone I've worked with, what you see is what you get.
Right.
My yes is a yes, my no is a no. I'm a very straightforward person. Ngikwata manje, ngiba right manje in the next 5 minutes. Ngisuke ngidinwe into engidinayo ngaleso sikhathi because of work, and I move on. Mengijabulile ngijabulile, mengekho right. I'm an open book, and I speak my mind.
Sesikwatisile thina lapha?
No, not at all.
Just checking.
Not at all. Yeah, I speak my mind.
Right.
So I guess my character firstly sets me apart from anyone else. Nokuthi, as human beings, sihlukile vele.
Right.
I'm not trying to be anyone else. I'm trying to be great at being me, because I cannot beat anyone else. I cannot beat someone else at being them, because that's their print. That's who they are. You can never compete with someone at being them. You can only beat yourself at being you. So I try and be myself as much as I can, and I try and stay authentic.
Originality
Is the best.
Ah,
No
God.
one wants a photocopy of anything.
You're right. And also, listen, like I said earlier, and there's a lot of dramas out there, right? And there is Sabu. You are, in some people's eyes and ears, you are the most loved drummist out there. You are within every album. Why do you think people want to work with you?
It's grace. Grace is favor that's not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
But above and beyond that, I generally think I'm easy to work with.
Okay.
I always say to even musicians that I work with, I say, guys, don't come late to my rehearsal.
All right.
Yeah, don't ever come late to my rehearsal.
Okay.
Yeah, respect me, because let's respect this music thing, because if you worked in a bank, you wouldn't rock up at whatever time.
Never.
And you would dress appropriately.
Of course.
So the little things matter to me, and it peeves some people, but I think what's keeping me working is people appreciate what I come with, the values I stand for. I'll be there on time.
Yeah.
I'll do my homework.
Yeah.
I would have checked the music. I'm willing to be corrected.
Yeah.
I'm willing to work with whatever team is there at the time to make this thing happen, because I know that it's not about me. Every time we're creating music, we're thinking about the end listener. How this thing is going to bless
Somebody
someone.
else.
And even in the secular field, when I'm doing stuff that is non-gospel, it's always about this thing needs to be of a certain quality, of a certain standard to the end listener. It's not about you. Calm down. Calm down. So, yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah, no, calm down. Come all the way down.
I mean, you spoke.
Sorry, Mr.
Yeah.
I just want to appreciate the text here from one of our listeners. attesting to what he's saying
Yeah.
about professionalism and being strict. He's also confirming to me I'm one strict person as well. I thought, mhlawumbe I need to calm down. But it looks like no, see, right. If I need you at 9 a.m., I need you at 9 a.m., please. So yeah, somebody is saying Sabu is just set apart by being himself.
Yeah.
The most professional, strict with in caps, humble and vibey musician I've come across. I recently learned that he's patient too. That is coming up from NK Charisma.
All right.
If NK
Did
is
he
saying
pay
this,
you?
yeah, he's doing well.
Did he pay you?
Don't trust that text.
Don't trust that text, that one.
No, thank you so much, NK, for connecting with us.
That is so beautiful that people that you work with literally gives you your flowers while you're still alive, because we don't want we are tired of people being appreciated while they're gone.
gone,
They're not
true.
here to receive such words, because I believe that if you are here now and we see your work, we need to appreciate it now. We don't need to wait for you to Shia left, then we can, because you won't hear that.
Yeah.
And it won't bring anything to you while you're gone. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's true.
But going back to to what you said earlier on, you spoke about being 100% to yourself, being who you are. There are a lot of upcoming drummers out here. They listen to a lot of you. And what would you say to them? I mean, they play, right? But you can hear that certain element, this one, he's following this one. You know?
Okay.
You can hear that, this one is following that one. He's getting that inspiration from it. How does it feel for you to know that there is people, let me not say one, people that are following you and they see what you're doing and they appreciate it and you are an inspiration to them?
I'm honored. First and foremost, I'm honored. It's not everyone that has an opportunity to create a whole culture, create a movement, and I think when God has graced you with something so powerful, you need to be careful how you use it.
Yeah.
I always caution people, though, to say it's okay. It's a beautiful thing to be inspired
Yeah.
by certain people. But I always caution them to say, make sure that out of that inspiration, you find who you are around that inspiration.
That's
Because it's important to, when all things are said and done, it's important to have a sound as an individual.
right.
So that we can identify which
Yeah.
Lona, Sabu,
Yeah.
Lona. Whoever you are, it's important that, because if you copy and paste something,
Yeah.
like I said, you can't beat anyone else at being themselves, But as a student, you can be even greater, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
So it's okay to be inspired, but make sure that in the inspiration, you are finding who you are.
Sure. Okay. I think for me, my last question to you, if not, right, I would ask this: in your journey as a child of God, you spoke of the fact that your gift was nurtured at home, and everything that happened to prepare you for you right now. And I guess what I'm trying to ask is, in that journey, is there a moment where you said, here I have seen God's love. I've seen who God is in my life. I've seen that God has truly called me for this particular thing that I'm doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. So many times. One particular event was when I suffered a car crash, a fatal one.
Yeah.
And we lost the life of Ulihle in
Yeah.
a car accident. I was supposed to go as well. Doctors had done everything, and they told my parents that it's only a matter of time. In a few days, we are home.
Sure.
And when God has a purpose with your life, as long as it's not completed, you're not going anywhere. Especially if you're walking in that purpose.
All right.
So I've seen God's hand. I've seen God's love in my life. graciously so, sometimes undeservingly, and I'm like,
Right.
God, that was you. That
Yeah.
was all you.
Yeah.
And even how people celebrate us as musicians.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't know the things we go through. And,
True.
you know, you come off stage and someone comes up to you and they say, hey, oh, Sabu, you don't know, man. You've just blessed me tonight. I've been going through such and such and such. And you find that this person is speaking into your own life. Do you realize you're not the only one going through stuff? You just sometimes you have to tough it up and do what the Lord requires of you,
Right.
and He'll take care of everything else for you if you take care of His business.
I love it. I'm so sorry. I love it when you are true to yourself and you say this couldn't have been me.
Yeah. Yeah.
This couldn't have been me. Not my mother, not my father, not anybody could have done this.
Yeah.
But I acknowledge the fact that it is God in my life, right? And for me, if there's nothing, listen, don't come for me, listeners at home, don't come for me. There's nothing more beautiful than a man who knows where his strength is coming from, honestly speaking. And for me, it's high time that musicians start to recognize that they are not called for themselves.
Right.
They are called for the world. Because if God called you for yourself, then there's something wrong there.
Sure,
You know. So for you, when we bring it back to you, what would you say? There are musicians out there. They make it like you made it, and they start having big heads about it. They don't want to listen to anything. They don't want to hear anybody. Not even when a fan, let me say a fan, comes through and says, yo, Sabu, I loved 1, 2, 3. And you're like, okay, fine, sure. You know, there's nothing more demeaning than that. What would you say to people who behave in that way, and yet they say they are called?
Oof. I was actually talking to my guys this past weekend, and I was saying to them, guys, it's high time as musicians we really love the Lord. Because when you really love the Lord, there's just certain traits or certain things that you will not do. They shed themselves naturally.
Right.
Just because you really love the Lord.
True.
And I think as musicians, because we have this musical gift and it wields a lot of power,
Right.
it's easy to think, I've arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you truly love the Lord,
Yeah.
you can't even think like that because you are Christ-like in every situation. Before you respond to someone, before you say anything to someone, you are thinking, what would Jesus do? Because you really love the Lord.
Yeah.
You don't just say, I'm a Christian, but
Amen.
people say you're a Christian just by looking at your actions.
Right.
You don't have to announce when you get into a place. It's how you act. It's how you.
Right.
So if you really love the Lord, and I'd implore musicians, really seek the Lord.
Yeah.
It even opens up a lot of other things in your gift.
Right.
A lot of people say, how do you play the things you play? And I'm like, some of these things I don't know. They are deposited to me by the Spirit. Yeah.
At that particular point
At
in
that
time.
particular point in time, I listen to some things after I've played and I'm like, what was that? It's not something I practiced for.
Right.
And I'm like, that was the Lord. Because in that moment, I totally gave my gift as a sacrifice. And I said, Lord, use me now. I do not want to be me on the stage, but I want
Right.
people to see you and hear you
That is
through
beautiful.
me. So if you really love the Lord, there's just characters and traits that shed themselves off naturally.
Mina ndidone ke, guys.
We're celebrating World Drama Day with Sabu right here on The Talk. Thank you so much for connecting with us. And Pastor Ashley is saying, sending fire emojis to you, Sabu.
Come on.
Pastor Ashley is also a drama. I am guys.
Yeah, your name
Drama,
again.
yeah, at Hope Life, at Hope Restoration Ministry. So probably I'm inspired, man. I'm inspired. But we're gonna have a beautiful song by Ayanda and Dance with Spirit of Praise saying Moyo Ngcele. This is one of your work. Are you featuring?
Well, featuring a number of us, but
Yes,
yeah.
because we're celebrating drama
Dramas,
day.
yes. So
Let's just say
for today.
Yeah, Khona isandla sika Sabu. Khona isandla sika Sabu. Welcome back to to the talk, celebrating World Drama Day with Sabu Satsha right here on the talk. It's exactly 10 minutes, 9 minutes to exactly 11 o'clock. There's something that you mentioned, Sabu, Ugutim. As you are inspired, don't lose yourself. You know, even finding that person who's an inspiration to you. In your case, I'm just reminded by Pastor Ashley, who sent through fire emojis. I'm sure he gets inspiration from you, Mhlambe, because
yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's our
he does.
Sabu, yeah.
He does.
Who inspires you when as Usabu?
Yeah, I am inspired by a lot of people. A lot of people who are not actually drummers. But yeah, let me put it like this. I'm inspired by people who are great at their passion.
Beautiful.
I admire anyone I look at who has a certain passion for something and they do it at the highest level and they aim for excellency. Our God is a God of excellence.
That's right.
Shout out to that.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm inspired when I see anyone really in anything, even if it's not music.
Yeah.
Gamza just walked in. I'm inspired even by such people.
Right.
When I see the way Gamza takes pictures, and I'm like, the way you want to excel in just taking a simple.
picture,
To me, it's
like-
just a photo.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
picture.
But because he is excellent at his passion and he aims so high,
Yeah.
I'm inspired by so many things.
Yeah.
I think excellency inspires me.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And when you also mentioned rehearsing, how you honor time, how you take serious even the little things behind the main project. And I'm sure when you have rehearsed so well with the artist, with the backing vocalist, come the day, they are going south, or there is an element, a minute, you know. There was once a joke of a trending song of a certain church I'll mention. When the worship team started a song, the instruments, they like in chakalaka. So
Oh,
Eish.
in your case, you've worked so hard in rehearsing, you've prayed, you've seen what the big day when it comes, it's going to be excellent. But the big day comes, something happened. Either the artist themselves, they just start on a key that does not complement you, your skills. How do you improvise with, okay, I can't just pause, I still need to continue playing.
Yeah.
How, maybe two questions in this. What's the importance of improvisation, you know, and how do you implement improvisation when things don't go
Go
according
south.
to how you rehearsed?
Yeah. Okay. I guess improvisation is improvisation. You have to step in a gap when something does go wrong. But with that being said,
Yeah.
let me put it like this. You need to be that prepared that in the event that something goes wrong, you even know what to do when something prepare so much that you are ready for any eventuality.
Okay.
That even when something goes wrong, I'm too much of a perfectionist.
Wow.
The people I work with, they know I lose my cool when things don't go the way we agreed.
Sure.
So I because I spend so much time at home, firstly, practicing before I join people in a rehearsal.
Okay.
I want things to be done in such a proper way that I even watch who I work with.
Oh.
Artist le, I na order le. Artist
Are you
le na
able
order.
to say no?
Yeah, but there's a lot of things I've said no to. There's a lot of recordings that I've not. There's a lot of artists that some I've worked with, and I had to say, yeah, this is the first and the last. I've had to really come out and say that because you come on stage and then you just excite a crowd, and it's okay to be excited, but let's keep the order.
Sorry to ask you this question in between of an answering. What birth month are you?
August
Okay. All right.
August 19th.
Okay. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense.
Perfectionism, excellence.
Ah, my God.
I thought he was a June.
Ah.
Yeah. No, well, the thing is, I feel like the world is getting it right.
Right. True. Come on.
Go out there
Come
in
on.
the circular field if they say it's camera, lights, action, it's
It
exactly
is.
that.
It is.
They are on point, everything. And I say, when we do things for God, why then do we go small? And
Why do we go mediocre?
yes, yes. And we've
Right.
accepted that in our Christian space. We've celebrated mediocrity for the longest time. And it's time we come out really as artists, futhi,
Yeah.
as gifted people.
Yes.
And iBhayibheli lithi kwacelwa a skillful musician uzodlalela inkosi.
Skillful.
Skillful.
Come on.
That's the key word actually.
Yeah.
There, we forget kuthiwa hayi abacule in the worship team baculele inkosi. Angeke ucule mina kuyami worship team. Mungakwazi ukucula. It's fine. Cula nathi but cula in the crowd because here we are leading people and we want skillful
Yeah.
people to do it.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Hey
Beautiful.
now.
Beautiful. It is
Listen, quickly, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
There's moments where I've watched you play. And when you play, there's moments whereby you would literally stand up from that seat. And I'd be like, dude, what's going on in your head? Let us in. Let us understand. What's going on, bruh?
The honest truth. ngisuke sengishiswa isihlalo mhlawumbe isikhathi eside. Yeah. Well, okay, sometimes we are just having too much fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes we are having too much fun. We are drawing energy from the crowd.
Yeah.
And you know, in music, ikhona lento yokuthi when we have a set list of
Yeah.
like 10 songs, kuyaziwa ukuthi song number 3, hayi ngoma kaSabu le. And
Kuyashisa
song number 4,
manje.
ale ye-bass.
Okay,
So,
alright.
so we know that in that song, start ndoda, start.
So you're there. You're there.
Yeah.
I love it.
We've been having a great conversation with Sabu here, celebrating a World Dramas Day. It is 3 minutes to exactly 11 o'clock. How time flew, honestly.
Right?
Mrs. A mentioned something very beautiful that here on the talk, we love giving people their flowers while they're still
Yeah.
alive. And we would like to say you're one of the, not even one. From now, as I had to
Yeah.
research, I found out Uguti, you are the best drummist.
I go English.
Drama in that we have in
Yeah,
our era
it
right
is.
now.
Thank you.
And
I'm honored.
it is more beautiful to have you today on the talk and
Yeah.
find out that it is not only the skill, but the most important thing, it's the relationship with God. I
True.
love it that we are getting ministered by people that understand who God is, because
True.
sometimes when the artist is silent in lyrical form,
Yeah.
we've got instruments that
Instruments.
come in and
Come
the
on.
healing takes over,
Come
deliverance
on.
takes
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
And to hear you saying, giving so much importance
Yeah.
of having a relationship with God, it's so beautiful to
It
watch.
is.
Honestly, I'm a follower right now. I'm going to follow you and be intentional about Instagram. I'm not that musical inclined.
And
like,
she's
this is-
not.
Yeah.
She's
So
not.
when you guys talk about Usabu, when NK says even worse, they would relate. Like, yeah, that's him. I'm like, woo! Yes, guys, I'm listening to the artist. Yeah. So you are amazing, Sabu. We
You
can't
are.
wait
Thank you. Thank
to see the more and beautiful things that God does
Yeah.
in your life. May
Yeah.
He continue to protect and cover
That's
you,
right.
Thank you.
especially with your family. We love that you're honoring your family
Yeah.
as well. It's beautiful to watch. And man, the gospel is not ayibambwanga ngezandla is wrong when we've got people
Come
like
on.
Sabu.
That's
So
right.
shout out to you, man. Continue excelling,
Yeah.
continue being strict, and thank you so much for joining us.
Fantastic. You're fantastic.
Thank you
You're
so much
amazing.
for having me.
You are amazing. Listen,
Yeah.
my husband loves you very much. My brother loves you very much. Listen,
Okay.
when we play songs, they'll be like, no, Sabu. I'm like, guys, he's not shy. He's not shy. But you're amazing. Keep on being amazing and let God
you.
use you in every way that you can.
Halala,
Thank you so much for having me as
Thank
well. Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank you,
really
Sabu.
honored.
Let's wrap up with a joyous celebration saying, give you all the glory. Sabu's hand is also there. Let's
Yes,
say it.
honey.
I'm here with you as well. We're going to be a few minutes late with the news bulletin with Sanele Mutlaka, but please bear with us and enjoy. Give you all the glory. Joyous celebration.